Hi everyone, I'm Mark Von Olen. I'm the brand manager here at Denuo Novo. We are the licensee for high-end Star Wars costumes and collectibles, including some awesome Stormtrooper helmets and so much more.
All right, can we get a little bit of a tour?
Absolutely. So we're going to start right here at Director Krennic, one of the most dramatic villains in all of Star Wars. He's one of my favorites. We have on sale right now everything 10% off and free shipping across the board. All of our different uniforms, including the Admiral. So this is our off-white Admiral tunic. Comes with black pants, the rank badge right here, the hat, and there's also a belt that goes with it. In fact, you can see the whole lineup down here on the listing. All of our QR codes are scannable, and it'll take you to all the product details up on the site. All of these items are screen accurate based on the look that you see in the movie.
All right, so should we look at some more of the helmets? I know you're going to show us Sabine.
Oh yes, I know you ladies are Rebels fans. I am a huge Rebels fan myself, and we're going to start with Sabine Wren. You want to hold the helmet, don't you?
I do.
Absolutely. So here, I'll hold the mic. Here, we'll switch. I'll interview you. Tell me right now, what do you think of this incredible helmet?
It's heavy. It looks so cool. I'm not putting it on because safety hazard, but you can see through it. It's so accurate. I feel like I'm actually holding Sabine's helmet.
That's our intention.
How freaking cool it is. What was it easy to create the helmet with the source material, or was it a little bit harder?
So this was an interesting one because this is an animated property, right? So Rebels, it's 2D animation. We had to translate this not into live action, but into real life. So we were able to get the color map from Lucasfilm with this beautiful orange right here, this incredible like red wine kind of purpley situation, this ridiculous scuff, the silver outlining, and then there's like a splatter paint effect as well. We got all of that information from Lucasfilm as well as like the 3D model, and then we had to translate that into something that actually fits on a human head. Because guess what? In the animation, it would not work like for real life. So like we opened up the bottom, as you can see, and it's got cushioning on the inside for comfort and wear, but like it doesn't really look like that in the show. So we were able to tweak it slightly. We do have a working viewfinder, which I love. So this goes up and down. So you can pose it either way. She usually has it down. Like she's always in some type of battle mode. So we wanted to give the wearers that option. Yeah.
Are there any other Rebels helmets in the works?
So we are going to be doing, this is Sabine Wren Season 2. We are going to be doing the Season 4 look, which has that like pink and purple in it. Yeah. I know. Everyone knows her for her hair and her helmets. So at some point we need to do a wig. Like that's the next.
That's the next one.
Yeah.
All right. Can we take a look at some more helmets? I know there's some from The Force Awakens.
Oh, absolutely. So let's switch back. There you go.
Switch it.
This is actually the big reveal that we have here at San Diego Comic-Con. This is our newest helmet in the lineup. It is the Star Wars The Force Awakens First Order Stormtrooper helmet. And this one is even heavier than the Sabine helmet. This is a fiberglass helmet. It is hefty. Here, we'll switch again. There you go. It's big, right?
It's huge.
Yeah. So this is, again, screen accurate. As you can see, it's got the grills in here. It's got the metal pieces. It's got the visor that you can actually see out of pretty well. Again, we wouldn't try putting it on, but if you flip it over, you can see the inside, again, is like fully lined with interior padding. And we've got these extra pads that you can remove or place for comfort. So depending on the shape and size of your head, these extra pads are really useful. And so this is a fiberglass helmet. Most of our helmets are actually fiberglass, but some are in ABS plastic, and those are even better for wear, for cosplay and whatnot. But this makes an excellent display piece. This one's from The Force Awakens. We're also doing one from The Last Jedi, and we've got the Executioner version from The Last Jedi right here. This one's coming soon, so he's not on sale yet. One of the things we make sure we do before we put things on sale is we determine the production schedule, and this one is still in development. So this one we know is going to deliver in Q4, but this guy we're still working on. So, we'll take your money once we know when we can deliver it.
Is there going to be a Finn one soon?
I hope so. He's got the little bloody handprint, right? Yes. That kind of thing. I would love to get there, probably in 2023. Yeah, it takes a lot of extra weathering, and you got to get that handprint just right. So yeah.
What goes into, how do you decide what the next helmet is going to be?
Yeah, that's a good question because there are so many different streams of content now. We were earlier just talking about the live-action Ahsoka show.
Yes.
Obviously, we want to stay current with the most recent content on the air, but we also have the entire original trilogy and the new trilogy that still needs some love. So we try to space it out across all of the different streams of content. If you look around the booth, you'll notice like the X-Wings are like largely classic. We've got these guys from the new trilogy. We just did some clone troopers from the prequels. We have a Jango Fett from the prequels. We mostly stay in live action, so Sabine is our only animated one. But I would say on a go forward, it's all about what's happening on Disney Plus.
So
Yep.
Excited. Do you have a favorite helmet of yours?
I do actually, and you shouldn't pick favorites. I mean, I worked on all these, but you know, the 501st Trooper one is gorgeous. It's the clone Trooper with the blue piece, the blue stripe in the middle. I'll grab that one for you real quick. This is also one of our newest helmets. We revealed this at Star Wars Celebration a little bit earlier this year. It is a clone Trooper helmet, and if you know anything about the prequels, and you said earlier you girls are prequels fans, these were rendered in the movie. They were never really physical helmets of the clones, so they had like a piece on the bottom that didn't really make sense for us to include because like you wouldn't be able to wear it. We want to make sure everything is wearable, so we opened up the bottom and created this beautiful one-piece wearable fiberglass helmet. And so we did the clone Trooper, and then we decided the 501st with this beautiful, like, weird blue, like, not quite turquoise, not quite cobalt, right? Like, this stripe down the middle. And then, wouldn't you know, we saw them in live action in either Book of Boba Fett or Mandalorian, right? They popped up in the flashback.
Kenobi, yeah.
Was it Kenobi? See, I've already lost track. Yes, there's so much content now. But yeah, like, they popped up in the Order 66 scene, so that was some kismet, right? Like, that was by happenstance, but I love the way this turned out, and it's a beautiful display piece.
Absolutely.
Are you going to do a Rex one?
So I think next we're going to get into... So I think we are going to move into some animated helmets. We'll probably start with Captain Rex. I do think the next clone, though, is probably a Phase 1. So that's, like, what is that, Attack of the Clones? So we'll probably go to Phase 1, and then we'll look at the animated. Once you unlock a specific mold, like this shares a mold with the Phase 2, like the weathered, you can then do paint iterations, and that's the hope. If we do a Rex, we could also do a 5s, and then maybe a Wolf. Like, there's a few in that space. And by the way, the prequels do need love, right? Like,
Absolutely.
We saw it at Celebration this year, the love for the prequels, like, it's finally happening. Like, everyone kind of got their roses. You know, we had that big panel for Attack of the Clones, and everyone got, like, a standing ovation, and everyone's thrilled that Hayden and Ewan are back. Like, this is a good time to be a prequels fan, and we're going to continue to develop in that space.
Here at Fandom Reactions, we've always loved the prequels. No hates.
And you should, because I think, here's the thing, I'm in the weird in-between age where I'm like a little young for the OT and a little old for the prequels, but I appreciate all of them, and they all work in different ways. Like, I think the prequels are such an interesting example of like what was possible with special effects at the time, and like they really pushed the boundaries of what was doable with like digital animation, and the story is really interesting. So the Clone Wars really builds on that, and I actually think make the prequels even better. So if you watch the Clone Wars, I go back and watch the prequels now, and they've elevated in my mind because of that.
And how has the Star Wars fans influenced the creation of these helmets?
Yeah, so like obviously we're making product for you, for the fans, right? So if you want to request something, you can email customer service at denuonovo.com and tell us what you're interested in seeing. You know, as I mentioned, we have a wide array of stuff here. There's classic, there's prequel, there's new trilogy, there's Mandalorian. Let us know what you want to see, and we'll figure out if it's doable.
I don't think mine would be doable.
What was yours?
Tech. Do you know how complicated
Okay,
that helmet
any
is?
hints about like Bad Batch? Any Bad Batch helmets?
So I wouldn't go to Bad Batch quite yet. It is a little new, and it is also more of a kid's property, right? Like, it is a sequel to the Clone Wars, but it is animated. And if we are going to do animation, I would start with the classic Clone Wars first. I will say, though, I'm a huge fan of Crosshair myself. Like, I love a villain. And I knew from the beginning there was like a look on his face. I was like, he's going to turn. And even if he doesn't have the chip, he's going to decide to be a bad guy. And he did. So I'm excited about that kind of character that actively chooses the wrong path and thinks they're doing the right thing. Like,
You're just speaking my language.
yeah, I'm a villain guy. My handle is Darth Von Olin. Like, I'm very much a Sith.
Mine's Darth Brianna.
Well, there we go. So it was meant to be.
Absolutely.
So my feeling is like we can continue to look at those characters, but I will want to start first. Like, I'd rather first do like a Fennec Shand helmet from Boba Fett or Mando, and we've got to get to the Ahsoka live action show. So we have a lot on the docket. Yep. But if you're really itching for a Bad Batch or something else, email customer service at denuonovo.com. We take your suggestions seriously.
And that will be also linked in the description of this video. Get Luke's X-Wing helmet. We're bouncing between professionalism and vlogging. It's great.
Alrighty, so you were asking about our X-Wing helmets. We have 5 different X-Wings in our lineup. This is our bestseller right here, the Luke Skywalker Red 5. This is straight out of A New Hope. It is ABS plastic, so it's actually nice and light, so you can grab this with one hand. You don't have to worry about like balancing act from the fiberglass. So yeah, this is much more of like a wearable costume accessory. It does make for a beautiful display piece, but it's nice and light, so great to run around in costume all day. It's got these big, we call them the donut pads in here, that you can put one or both in the way, based on how you want to fit your head in here. And it's got the comm boom link, the yellow visor right here. It's got a lot of weathering across all the decals and everything, mimicking the look of A New Hope.
And how does the production of the X-Wing helmets differ from the Clone Troopers?
Yes, so this is made of ABS plastic. The Clone Trooper is made out of fiberglass. So very different molding and structures. That is hand-painted fiberglass, and these are decals made with ABS plastic.
So Hannah wants to see the Kylo Ren helmet.
Absolutely. Let me grab it for you.
I love the helmet.
I want to see Kylo Ren.
Copy yourself.
Okay. And now we're speaking my language because we're talking about the villains.
Yes.
So I love Kylo Ren. This is one of our newest helmets in the lineup. It is also a fiberglass helmet. This is Kylo Ren from The Rise of Skywalker. So as you can see, the beautiful red paint in here with all the cracks, right? So it is a different structure from his original helmet in The Force Awakens. And we've got the metal grille on the front. This is also very wearable. It's got a fully padded inside right here. It's actually quite comfortable to wear. We are working on a Force Awakens version as well that'll also be available in fiberglass, and that's coming out in Q4. This one is available right now in stock. Yeah, so one of the good things about working with Lucasfilm is they're as interested in our success as we are. So when we need assets for something like this, we'll get 3D files, we'll get high-res photography, we'll get information from our licensing partners on like what the material should be made of over here, and it goes through numerous rounds of approvals, revisions. We make sure it's like perfect. A lot of references taken to make sure that it matches the way you saw it on screen. This red color went back and forth a little bit, but they're interested in our success the same way we are, and they've been excellent partners throughout all this. It's how we've been able to launch about 50 helmets in just about a year. So that racks up to like one a week on average. Now they come out in waves, but it's been a really, like, we're coming up on our first birthday in August, so we're very excited to celebrate that. But we already have like 50 helmets out, so it's been kind of amazing.
So cool! I'm so excited. I'm taking a look at that guy right there. Can we take a look at him? Yes, take a look at the Mandalorian.
Check out our Mandalorian reactions. We're not fangirls.
Now, with the Mandalorian being one of the first Star Wars Disney Plus series, how was it to replicate this helmet in particular?
Yeah, so he's obviously like the star of the whole franchise at the moment, right? Like no one's more important than Din Djarin, I would think. So we had to make sure we got this perfect. It is fiberglass with this beautiful sort of like light purple kind of visor. Can you really see that color in there? I'm going to try to turn it a little bit. And again, like fully padded interior. Same thing though, where like we'll get 3D files, we'll get photography. I will say this color was quite the process to make sure that we replicated it correctly, because the way it looks on screen versus the way it looks in person, and then how much weathering do you put on the helmet is always a question. We want it to look weathered and worn without looking like it's a mistake or it's dirty or it's damaged, and that's the balancing act that we have to have with all of our weathered helmets, because basically everything across the board has some form of weathering on it. It's very rare that we do something that's clean. So this was a balancing act of like, what do we want Mando to look like, and we want it to be wearable while also looking like he's seen some action.
Absolutely. So freaking awesome.
Would you like to hold him too? He's heavy. Yeah, that's a heavy one. You got it?
Oh.
Yep.
She big. It's so
And he's
cool.
actually our best-selling helmet on the entire site.
Oh, okay.
He's our number one, and we plan on keeping him in stock as long as we can. We're going to keep making more as people keep ordering them.
I'm looking for Boba Fett.
So Boba is not out quite yet. We are working on a Boba Fett. We do have Django. And we are going to do a Darth Vader eventually. But yeah, we wanted to make sure we had a nice mix of characters out.
A very, very nice mix. I know this is mainly helmets, but with the costume pieces, what goes into making those as well?
Yep, so with costumes, it's important to have accurate patterns, and then from there, understanding how you grade those patterns and size them up. The nice thing is on our Imperial Officer uniforms, they're all the same pattern, just in different colors. And then from there, it's like making sure the color is correct. So we were able to really bang out like 3 different types of costumes with one set of patterns, and then just a color map for the black officer, the olive gray officer, and then the the Admiral, who's an off-white. Which, by the way, it is an off-white. It's not white. It is a very off-white, and if you've seen it in person, it can look almost like yellow or beige compared to like a white piece of paper. But it is accurate to the screen.
And I'm taking a look at our Han Solo right here. Can we talk a little bit about the process of producing Han Solo's costume, iconic costume?
So he's a little anachronistic at the moment because he's wearing his jacket from The Force Awakens and his pants from A New Hope. So he's a little bit time confused, but we have a lot of different individual pieces for Han Solo. We have his pants, his shirt, and his vest from A New Hope. We have the belt in stock from Empire Strikes Back, and we have his jacket from The Force Awakens. So there's a nice mix of things. We knew having characters are important. So we have an outfit for Luke Skywalker. We have an outfit for Han Solo. They are major players in the franchise, so we wanted to make sure we had as many pieces for them as possible.
And how was it replicating the iconic characters as well?
Yeah, the nice thing is, like, Lucasfilm keeps good records, and, like, people know what these pants look like. You know, it's that weird color blue, and then the red dots on the side, like the bloodline, right? Like, that information has been out there for a while, so it wasn't hard to come by, like, what this should look like. You know, it's not really a secret. Whereas something new is actually harder to manufacture because there isn't as much reference out there.
And is there any costume pieces that you're working on for the future, or ones that you would like to work on?
Oh boy, and this one is super timely because the Andor show is coming out in August, as you know. We've been working on a Cassian Andor jacket for a little while now from Rogue One, so that one will probably be out by the end of this year.
So cool. Do you ladies have any questions? No? I'm just honestly in awe of this whole selection. I want to ask so many questions.
I'm glad you enjoy the layout. Yeah, we're very proud of everything we've been able to do in the past year. Lucas has been fantastic to work with, and they're allowing us to play in this like really luxury high-end space, which takes a lot of attention to detail and requires that customers give us their feedback and, you know, let us know that things are looking good. So we rely on working with the customers just as much. It's been quite a journey.
I love how dedicated to the fans you guys are. This is so honest. I'm honestly blown away. I'm trying to go back to my notes because I'm like kind of just in awe about this whole thing. It's so cool.
The notes have walked away.
I think that's wrapping up the interview. Thank you so much for talking with us, and all of the links to all of these items as well as talks about future ones will be in the description below. Yeah, thank you so much for talking with us. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, same here. Feel free to follow us at Denuo Novo on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can also enter our helmet giveaway and just scan our QR code and visit those channels. And we're doing a 10% off sale with free shipping throughout the duration of San Diego Comic-Con. So thank you ladies so much for coming to the booth. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. This was a lot of fun. See you guys next time.
If you liked that video, make sure to like and subscribe.
Subscribe to our Patreon where you get our reactions a week early, uncut before it goes to YouTube.
You can book us on Cameo, where you can make Hannah sing happy birthday.
I will not be singing happy birthday.
You can ask us to say hello, a small reaction request, or make Hannah sing happy birthday.
Our merch store is now up with brand new designs coming, as well as our old designs brought to you by my Manic Episodes. Thank you for that.
Make sure to check out our OnlyFans.
Oh my god!
Subscribe to our OnlyFans for a different side of fandom reactions.
And be sure to follow our Twitter and Instagram at FandomReactGirls for daily updates.